Releasing the masks, going to sleep as your truest self. Purpose: invite readers to strip off daily personas and reconnect with their authentic core. Are you aware that you wear many faces during the day? Let bedtime be the moment you return to your real one. Chapter 1: The Many Faces We Wear. You wear many faces during the day. Let bedtime be the moment you return to your real one. Every day, from the moment we open our eyes to the time we lay our heads back on the pillow, we assume various roles like actors shifting scenes under the glare of 1,000 lights. We become the dependable employee, the understanding partner, the obedient child, the responsible parent, the cheerful friend, the silent sufferer. We smile when we're hurting. We nod when we disagree. We perform not out of deception, but survival, adaptation, and habit. But beneath all those expressions lies one timeless, beautiful truth: the authentic you. These faces we wear are not wrong. They help us function. They help us meet expectations, navigate social norms, and protect our hearts. But when every mask becomes permanent, when performance replaces presence, we begin to forget who we really are. That forgetting carries a weight subtle at first, like fog in the distance. Over time, it becomes emotional fatigue, a sense of being disconnected from life's richness, and a quiet ache for something more genuine. And that's where bedtime becomes sacred. In the stillness of night, away from emails, expectations, and noise, we are finally free to return to ourselves. But here's the secret: your true self has never left you. It has only been patiently waiting beneath the layers, softly whispering, "I'm still here." Why we wear masks? We wear masks because the world often asks for them. Society teaches us to appear competent even when we're overwhelmed, to be agreeable even when we want to speak up, to hold it together even when we feel like falling apart. As children, many of us learned quickly which parts of ourselves earned love and which parts triggered punishment or rejection. We learned to adapt, to dim, to amplify, to reshape ourselves for approval, praise, or peace. And so the masks formed. Some came with smiles, others with silence, some with loudness, some with the drive to achieve. Each one carried a message: be this way to be safe, be this way to be loved. Yet no matter how effective these masks are, they are not us. They are costumes, crafted by necessity. Your truest self is not your productivity, your status, or even your personality in social settings. Your true self is the quiet awareness behind the eyes, the gentle voice in your heart, the spirit that longs for rest, truth, and meaning. The toll of mask wearing. The constant wearing of these masks can become exhausting. Have you ever climbed into bed and felt completely drained, not just from what you did, but from who you had to be? That's not just tiredness, it's soul fatigue. Every time you silence your truth, pretend you're fine, or suppress your feelings to maintain peace, a little part of your authentic self goes unheard. Over time, this builds up as anxiety, emotional numbness, or a deep sense of not knowing who you are anymore. But what if you could take off the masks just for a few minutes each night and remember? What if, instead of ending your day with more pretending, scrolling, numbing, avoiding, you used bedtime as a sacred reunion with your soul? This chapter is your permission slip to do just that. Who are you beneath the masks? Let's take a moment and imagine. Picture yourself alone, in your room, free from any eyes watching. No one to impress. No one to comfort. No roles to play. Who are you then? Are you the quiet dreamer? The wounded healer? The joyful artist? The brave heart that's been hiding behind duty? Are you someone who longs to speak your truth but hasn't felt safe enough to? Beneath the layers, you are not broken or unworthy. You are whole. And perhaps, you are just tired of pretending to be okay when you're not. Tired of living for others and forgetting your own dreams. Tired of being strong when your soul craves softness. A nightly invitation. Tonight, before you sleep, stand before a mirror not to judge or critique, but to see. Look into your own eyes. Beyond the tiredness. Beyond the history. Beyond the expectations. Say to yourself, I release the roles. I release the need to be everything to everyone. Tonight, I return to who I am. And who I am is enough. Then, as you lie down, visualize each mask gently lifting off. The provider. The protector. The people pleaser. The achiever. The fixer. The strong one. Let each mask melt like wax under warm light. Let your face soften. Let your breath deepen. Let your soul exhale. And in this beautiful emptiness, you'll begin to feel full again. A gentle reminder. This isn't about abandoning your responsibilities. It's about reclaiming yourself from them. The world may need you to wear masks during the day, but you deserve to take them off at night. You don't have to perform for your pillow. You don't need validation from the darkness. The moon, the stars, and your breath, they ask nothing from you except your presence. Let sleep be not just rest from the world, but a return to your truth. Let every night be a quiet revolution. A subtle act of rebellion against the noise. A bold step toward peace. You've worn many faces today. Now, gently, joyfully come home to your own. Chapter 2, The Emotional Cost of Pretending. Pretending may protect you for a while, but it always charges a price. That price is your peace. Each day, we step into the world carrying invisible burdens, expectations, roles, behaviors we think we should embody to be accepted, respected, or even just tolerated. Over time, these layers of pretending weave themselves into our very identity, blurring the line between who we truly are and who we've trained ourselves to be. But pretending is never free. There is an emotional cost we silently pay every time we nod when we want to say no, smile when we feel broken, or show up strong when we are aching for help. The cost is not only stress, it's the quiet erosion of self-worth, the growing gap between our outer lives and inner truth, and a deep fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to fix. This chapter is about recognizing that cost, not to shame ourselves but to gently awaken the part of us that is tired of carrying this weight. Tonight, we begin the process of reclaiming our peace by telling ourselves the truth. The hidden weight of a false smile. Smiling when you want to cry. Listening when you want to speak. Helping when you need help yourself. These aren't noble acts of sacrifice when they are habitual, they are warning signs that you've become distant from your own needs. You may not even notice it anymore. You've likely trained yourself so well to keep it together that pretending feels automatic. But here's the hard truth: every time you fake your feelings for too long, your body keeps score. Your shoulders grow heavier. Your breath grows shorter. Your thoughts loop with anxiety. Your heart feels increasingly hollow. And worst of all, you may begin to believe that your truth doesn't matter. But it does matter. Deeply. Because your truth is not a flaw. It is a compass. A guide. A gift. You were not born to perform. You were born to be whole. Why we pretend? We pretend because at some point in life, it felt safer to do so. Maybe as a child, you were punished for expressing anger. Maybe you were told to toughen up when you cried. Maybe being quiet and agreeable was the only way to avoid conflict. Or maybe, you learned that success and external validation brought praise, so you chased them, even if it meant silencing who you really were. Over time, we internalize these messages. We wear strength like armor. We wear smiles like shields. And somewhere along the way, we forget that vulnerability is not weakness, it is truth without a mask. Pretending becomes a survival tactic. But eventually, the survival strategy becomes the very thing that suffocates us. The symptoms of disconnection. When you pretend too often, you begin to feel disconnected from yourself, from others, from life. You might feel like you're constantly on, even when alone. An unexplained heaviness, especially at night. Emotionally numb or distant from people you love. Irritable or easily overwhelmed by small things. Unsure of what you truly want or feel anymore. Afraid of silence because it reveals too much. These are not signs of failure. They are signals. Invitations. Your body and soul are trying to get your attention. They're whispering, "Come back to me. Stop pretending. I miss you." The cost to relationships. Pretending also creates emotional distance in our relationships. When we are not real with ourselves, we can't be real with others. We nod when we want to challenge. We withdraw when we crave intimacy. We keep things light when our souls are heavy. We give love but struggle to receive it. True connection requires vulnerability. It requires being seen, not just the polished version of us, but the whole truth. When you go to bed every night without expressing what's really in your heart, your connections may look intact on the surface, but they lack depth. You may feel alone, even in a room full of people. And that's why returning to your truest self at bedtime is not just for you, it's for every person who loves you. Because when you reclaim your truth, you allow others to do the same. The healing power of honesty, even in the dark. Honesty doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes the most transformative truths are whispered to yourself in the dark. Before bed, take a moment to reflect. Where did I pretend today? What emotions did I hide? Where did I abandon myself to please others? What did I need that I was too afraid to ask for? And then release the shame. Remind yourself, I did the best I could with what I knew. But tonight, I choose to stop performing and start listening. My truth is safe here. My truth is sacred. This simple ritual, done nightly, creates space for emotional healing. It softens your nervous system. It reconnects you with your voice. It begins to replace the old patterns of suppression with patterns of presence. Gentle bedtime practice, the truth-telling whisper. Lie in bed. Place your hand over your heart. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Then softly say to yourself, tonight, I do not need to impress. I do not need to perform. I do not need to pretend. I am allowed to be me fully, freely, gently. My truth is enough. I am enough. Let this mantra wrap around you like a warm blanket. Let the masks dissolve. Let the real you rise, not the perfect version, but the honest one. You may cry. You may feel relief. You may feel nothing at all. That's okay. Every emotion is welcome here. This is your space. This is your truth. This is your peace. A loving reminder. Pretending may have protected you once. But you don't need that protection anymore. You are not that scared child. You are not that overworked adult. You are becoming someone new, someone whole. And that transformation begins each night you choose to stop pretending, even if only in your own heart. Let bedtime be your sanctuary. Let honesty be your balm. Let your pillow hold not just your head, but your truth. Because you are not here to live a life of performance. You are here to live a life of peace. And it all starts with letting go, and being you. Chapter 3, The Sacredness of Bedtime as a Return. At night, we don't just sleep, we return. Return to breath. Return to truth. Return to the self that's always been waiting. We live in a world that reveres action and constant motion. From morning meetings to evening responsibilities, from public roles to private obligations, our lives are often filled to the brim with doing. But in all this doing, something essential is often lost, the sacred art of being. That is why bedtime holds such a powerful opportunity, not just for rest, but for reunion. In the quiet hush of night, after the world stops asking so much of you, you are finally invited to remember who you really are beneath the performance. It's not just about winding down, it's about coming home to yourself. Bedtime is a threshold. There is something mystical about the hour when the world grows quiet. The lights dim. The streets still. The digital noise softens. In this gentle space between waking and dreaming, there is a threshold, a passage from the world's expectations back to your own essence. But most of us cross this threshold unconsciously. We scroll through phones, carry stress into our pillows, or fall asleep numbed by exhaustion rather than nourished by stillness. What if you saw bedtime differently? What if you treated it as a sacred doorway, a soft return to your spirit, your values, your truth? Bedtime is more than the body's retreat. It is the soul's invitation. Returning to stillness. Stillness is not emptiness. It's fullness without noise. It's peace without effort. But in a world that values productivity over presence, we often resist stillness. We equate silence with loneliness, or boredom, or even discomfort. But stillness is your original state. Before the roles. Before the voices. Before the masks. In stillness, you remember that you are not your performance, you are a presence. When you allow yourself even 5 minutes of stillness before sleep, no devices, no distractions, you begin to return to this core. Your breath deepens. Your thoughts slow. Your spirit sighs in relief. Stillness doesn't demand anything from you. It simply asks you to be. And that, dear soul, is more than enough. The power of sacred rituals. To make bedtime sacred, we must treat it with intention. Rituals, even simple ones, create signals to your mind and heart that it's safe to soften. That the day is done. That you can now turn inward. Here are a few gentle practices that transform bedtime into a nightly homecoming. 1. Candlelight pause. Light a candle before bed. As it flickers, take 3 deep breaths. With each exhale, imagine releasing one layer of the day's stress, expectations, judgment. Whisper, I am coming home. 2. Warm wash of water. As you wash your face or take a shower, imagine cleansing away the roles you played today. Let the water symbolize renewal. Say, I release who I had to be. I return to who I am. 3. Gratitude grounding. List 3 truths about yourself that are independent of what you do. For example, I am loving. I am resilient. I am worthy of rest. These truths are not earned, they are remembered. 4. Silence before sleep. Even just 2 minutes of silent sitting or lying down with no distractions helps reset your nervous system. Let your thoughts pass like clouds. Feel your breath. Return. These small rituals may seem simple, but repeated nightly, they become anchors. They remind you that the final act of your day is not another task but a tender reconnection with your soul. Your bed as a sanctuary? Your bed should not be the place you bring your worries to. It should be the place you return to your truth. Ask yourself, is your sleep space a place of peace, or a place of unfinished thoughts? Transform your bedroom into a sanctuary by considering these tips. Remove clutter. Physical clutter breeds mental clutter. Keep your space clean and calming. Low lighting. Use soft lights, salt lamps, or fairy lights to signal winding down. Scented calm. Diffuse lavender or sandalwood essential oil to relax the body. Digital boundaries. Keep phones off the bed. Replace screen time with sacred time. Soundscape of peace. Use soft music, white noise, or even silence to cradle you back to yourself. Your bedroom doesn't need to be extravagant. It just needs to feel like it loves you back. Letting the day end fully. Many of us fall asleep physically, but remain mentally entangled in the day. Our minds replay conversations, anxieties, regrets, or to-do lists. This mental overdrive keeps us from true rest. To let the day truly end, you must give it closure. A simple exercise. Before bed, whisper. The day has served its purpose. I've done what I could. I let go of the rest. Let your breath be the final punctuation mark of the day. A sacred period at the end of a long, imperfect, beautiful sentence. Sleep as a spiritual practice. What if sleep wasn't just a biological need, but a spiritual one? When you fall asleep aligned with your truth, you don't just rest, you recharge. Your subconscious goes to work healing, processing, and reconnecting the dots of your deeper self. Dreams become messengers. Stillness becomes fuel. You don't just wake up rested. You wake up restored. And you don't need a yoga mat or meditation app for this. You just need presence. Honesty. Permission to stop performing and start being. Each night you fall asleep as your truest self, you wake up one step closer to the life you were always meant to live. Subliminal seeds for the soul. As you drift to sleep, whisper or mentally affirm, I am safe to be myself. I return to truth. I return to peace. I return to love. I return to me. Let these words echo through your dreams. Let them rewire your nervous system. Let them anchor your spirit in the calm truth of who you are. A final word for tonight. You've spent all day showing up for the world. Now, let the world wait. This time is for you. You are not your titles. You are not your tasks. You are not your mistakes. You are light. You are love. You are worthy of the sacred return to self. So tonight, treat bedtime as a homecoming. Come back to the breath. Come back to your center. Come back to the truth that never left. You are enough, exactly as you are. Chapter 4, Breathing into your true self. Your breath is not just air, it is the doorway to who you really are. There is something miraculous about the breath. It arrives with us at birth, stays with us through every season of life, and quietly accompanies us until our final moment. And yet, how often do we pay attention to it? How often do we truly breathe not just to survive, but to connect? In a world that pulls us outward, the breath pulls us inward. In moments of stress, a single deep breath can center us. In moments of chaos, a slow exhale can ground us. And at bedtime, when the noise of the day begins to fade, our breath becomes the bridge, the gentle path back to our true self. This chapter invites you to rediscover the sacredness of your breath. Not as a technique or tool but as a trusted friend who's always been trying to bring you home. Why breath is the gateway. Your breath is the most honest part of you. It cannot lie. It cannot pretend. It can't wear masks. When you're anxious, it speeds up. When you're calm, it slows down. When you're suppressing emotions, it becomes shallow. When you're present, it deepens. Breathing patterns reflect emotional states, but they also influence them. In the language of the soul, breath says what words cannot. Every inhale is an invitation to receive. Every exhale is permission to let go. And in this rhythm, inhale, exhale, return, you find the heartbeat of your truest self. The breath you've been holding all day. How often have you gone through a day without realizing you were holding your breath? It happens during difficult conversations, tight deadlines, uncomfortable emotions. We literally hold in our truth, tightening our bodies, stiffening our spines, shallow breathing our way through discomfort. By bedtime, you're not just physically tired. You're energetically constricted. Your breath has become narrow. Your body feels tense. Your soul is weary. But here's the good news, you don't have to stay that way. One conscious breath can begin to change everything. Breathing as a bedtime ritual. Before you reach for your phone. Before you drift into unconscious sleep. Give yourself 3 minutes to breathe consciously. This is not a chore, it's a gift. Here is a gentle nighttime breathing ritual to return to yourself. The 4-7-8 release. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through the mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat this for 4 rounds. Each breath cycle tells your nervous system, it's safe to let go. As you practice, silently repeat affirmations with each exhale. I release the day. I release the pressure. I release the roles I played. Your breath doesn't ask you to fix everything. It just asks you to feel. And in that feeling, you find truth. Letting the body speak through breath. The body remembers what the mind forgets. Emotions we don't process stay lodged in the body like frozen whispers waiting to be heard. When we breathe deeply, we begin to melt that tension. We give voice to what has long been silent. Take a moment now. Place one hand over your chest, the other over your belly. Breathe in slowly. Exhale even slower. Now ask your body, where am I holding today's stress? You might notice tightness in the shoulders, a heaviness in the chest, a clenching in the jaw, a knot in the stomach. Wherever it is, don't judge. Just breathe into that space. Send love there. With each breath, say, I see you. I hear you. I release you. This is how we come home, not by force, but by feeling. The breath behind the mask. Masks are stiff. Pretending is rigid. Authenticity, however, is fluid. Your truest self breathes freely. It doesn't rush. It doesn't hide. It doesn't perform. By learning to breathe deeply and intentionally, you learn to live honestly. Here's the truth most of us forget. You do not need permission to be yourself. You only need to breathe into who you are. Even if you've spent the whole day wearing a smile that wasn't real, or speaking words that didn't reflect your heart, your breath is waiting to lead you back. Every inhale is forgiveness. Every exhale is freedom. Nightly affirmations for soulful breathing. Let your breath become prayer. Let your exhale carry intentions. As you breathe tonight, whisper these affirmations in your mind. With each breath, I return to peace. I am allowed to slow down. My breath is my truth. I no longer need to hold everything in. I let go with love. Repeat these with gentleness, not force. Let them melt into your subconscious. Let your breath teach you the language of compassion. Subliminal integration, breath as identity. The more you breathe deeply, the more you reclaim your identity, not the one assigned by others, but the one defined by wholeness. Each conscious breath sends a message to your soul. You are not a machine. You are not just what you produce. You are not the version of yourself you show to fit in. You are light. You are spirit. You are breath. You are the still, breathing presence behind every version of yourself you've ever shown the world. And you're allowed every night to return there. A final whisper before sleep. As you close your eyes tonight, remember. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are simply human, beautiful, breathing, becoming. Let your breath tuck you in. Let it rock you like a lullaby. Let it carry you into dreams that are honest and healing. Breathe in softness. Breathe out the strain. Breathe in truth. Breathe out pretending. Tonight, may every breath bring you home. And in that home, may you remember. You are enough. You are whole. You are here. Chapter 5, Speaking Kindly to the Real You. The last voice you hear before sleep should not be your inner critic. It should be the gentle friend who always believed in you. There is a moment each night, just before sleep takes you, when the world fades and your mind becomes quiet enough to hear your own voice. This voice, your inner dialogue, is one of the most powerful forces shaping your self-worth, your dreams, and your emotional freedom. For many, however, that voice becomes an echo of criticism. You should have done more. Why did you say that? You're not good enough. These aren't truths. They are distortions, shadows of fear, insecurity, and the stories we've inherited or absorbed through the years. Yet, over time, they become so familiar that we accept them as normal. This chapter is a gentle rebellion against that inner critic. A call to replace judgment with kindness. To turn bedtime into a sanctuary where the real you is spoken to with compassion, not condemnation. You deserve to go to sleep in peace, not because the day was perfect, but because you are worthy of peace, exactly as you are. The voice that shapes your identity. Your inner voice is not just a narrator, it is a sculptor. It shapes how you see yourself, how you show up in the world, and how you experience each day. If this voice is harsh, you live in fear. If it's gentle, you thrive. Imagine for a moment a small child standing before you. This child is you, vulnerable, tender, wide-eyed with hope. Would you tell that child they're a failure? Would you criticize every misstep? Would you dismiss their tears or push them to do more before they're allowed to rest? Of course not. And yet, many of us speak to ourselves in ways we would never dare to speak to another soul. It's time to change that. Why we struggle to be kind to ourselves. Being kind to yourself may feel foreign, especially if you grew up in an environment where love was conditional, achievements were the standard for approval, or vulnerability was met with silence. You may have learned to be your own harshest critic, believing it would make you stronger, more motivated, or more acceptable in the eyes of others. But harshness doesn't create growth. It creates wounds. True growth comes from encouragement, not punishment. From nurturing the parts of yourself that need love, not silencing them. At bedtime, when the world's noise quiets, you have the sacred opportunity to rewrite that internal dialogue, one gentle word at a time. The real you craves compassion. The real you, the one behind the masks, the one beneath the roles, isn't perfect. And it doesn't need to be. It simply wants to be accepted, held, seen. Not for what it produces or how well it performs, but for being real. When you speak kindly to yourself, you give your inner self a soft landing at the end of the day. You let your nervous system relax. You let your soul breathe. Kindness isn't weakness. It is the most powerful form of truth. What kindness sounds like at night. Kindness doesn't mean sugarcoating everything or pretending there's no room for growth. It means acknowledging your humanity and treating yourself with the same grace you would offer someone you deeply love. Here are examples of what kindness sounds like at night. I made mistakes today, but I'm still learning. That's okay. I felt overwhelmed, but I kept going. I'm proud of myself. I don't have to figure everything out tonight. I'm allowed to rest. Even if I didn't finish everything, I am still worthy of peace. I am more than my productivity. I am a soul worthy of love. Let these phrases become familiar. Let them echo through your being like soft lullabies of truth. Bedtime mirror ritual, speaking to the soul. Before sleep, try this simple mirror ritual. It might feel strange at first, but trust the process. Stand in front of a mirror. Look into your eyes not to judge, but to see. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe deeply. Say something kind to yourself aloud or in a whisper. Suggestions. Thank you for showing up today. I love the person you are becoming. You don't have to prove anything to be loved. You are allowed to rest, to heal, to be human. Over time, this ritual softens your self-image. It replaces harsh scripts with healing truths. Writing a love letter to yourself. If you struggle to speak kindness aloud, try writing it down. Each night, write a short note to yourself, beginning with, "Dear your name, thank you for. I'm proud of you because. I forgive you for. I want you to know that." These letters, though small, become powerful tools of self-reclamation. They rewire your mind to see yourself as someone worthy of grace not just on good days, but especially on the hard ones. Affirmations that heal. Let the final thoughts of your day uplift you. Whisper these affirmations as you rest. I am enough, exactly as I am. I give myself permission to rest without guilt. My worth is not tied to how much I do. I treat myself with the kindness I deserve. I speak love into my heart. I speak peace into my soul. These words are not magic spells, they are medicine. Gentle, soul-enriching, heart-repairing medicine. Subliminal message, you are worthy of gentle words. Even as you sleep, your subconscious absorbs messages. What you say to yourself before bed matters. Let your nightly self-talk become a soothing stream of encouragement flowing into your dreams. Repeat silently. I am loved. I am safe. I am healing. I am home. Let these phrases take root in your spirit. Let them become the foundation of how you view yourself even during the day. A final thought before sleep. Tonight, speak to yourself with the reverence you deserve. Let your voice become your comfort, not your critic. Let it hold you, not harm you. You've carried the weight of the world today. Now it's time to carry yourself gently, lovingly, truly. Because beneath all the masks, is someone extraordinary. And that someone deserves to hear words of kindness, always. You are enough. You are beloved. And tonight, your truth is safe, in your own voice. Chapter 6, Forgiving the day's pretenses. You don't have to wear the weight of who you pretended to be. Tonight, you are free to forgive the version of you that coped the best way it knew how. There's something sacred about the moment you exhale before sleep. The world becomes quiet. The lights dim. And what remains is a private reckoning, the meeting of the day's actions with your inner truth. Sometimes, in that moment, we feel at peace. But more often, we feel a quiet guilt. A knowing that we weren't fully honest. That we wore a smile when we wanted to cry. That we agreed when we wished to say no. That we showed up for others but abandoned ourselves. These pretenses, though subtle, accumulate. And if left unacknowledged, they become emotional debris, blocking our rest, muting our joy, and fogging our sense of self. This chapter is a healing invitation to forgive the masks you wore today, to understand why they showed up, and to lovingly let them go before you drift to sleep. Why pretending hurts? Pretending is a form of protection. It's how we avoid conflict, seek approval, and keep the peace. We often pretend not because we are dishonest but because we are human. We want to be accepted. We want to feel safe. And in some spaces, being our full, vulnerable selves just doesn't feel possible. So we play roles. We suppress reactions. We hide pain. We adjust our tone. We perform. Not out of malice, but survival. But no matter how good the performance, our soul always knows when we've betrayed our truth. And over time, that knowing wears us down. The cost of a disconnected day. By the end of a day spent pretending, even your body feels different. Your muscles are tight. Your chest feels heavy. Your mind replays conversations, what you said, what you didn't say, what you wish you said. This internal conflict doesn't mean you failed. It means you care. You care about being real. You care about showing up with integrity. You care about living a life that feels true, not just tolerable. And the first step to returning to that truth is not punishment, but forgiveness. What forgiveness looks like before sleep. Forgiving your pretense doesn't mean ignoring it. It means recognizing it with compassion and releasing the shame. Tonight, instead of judging the moments you weren't authentic, try saying, I forgive myself for the ways I protected my heart today. I understand why I smiled when I didn't feel like smiling. I release the guilt of not being fully real. I did what I needed to survive. I am learning to honor my truth, one night at a time. These gentle acknowledgements allow your nervous system to soften. They send a message to your subconscious, you are not in trouble. You are safe to rest. A bedtime forgiveness practice. Here is a nightly practice to cleanse the emotional slate. Step 1. Reflect. Lie down and take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, where did I wear a mask today? When did I hold back my truth? What part of me was I trying to protect? Let the answers arise without judgment. Be tender with what comes up. Step 2. Acknowledge with compassion. Say inwardly, I see you, mask of control. I see you, mask of people-pleasing. I see you, mask of perfection. Thank you for trying to protect me. By acknowledging the masks, you take away their power. You stop pretending that you weren't pretending, and that's where healing begins. Step 3. Forgive and release. With your eyes closed, place one hand over your heart. Breathe into the space behind your sternum. Whisper, I forgive who I had to be today. I release the need to be perfect. I give myself permission to be real tomorrow. Imagine your breath carrying away the residue of pretense. Imagine each exhale as a soft goodbye to the versions of yourself that no longer serve you. You did the best you could. This truth bears repeating: you did the best you could today. With the awareness, tools, and support you had, you navigated the day as best as you could. You showed up. You moved forward. Even if you stumbled or stayed quiet when you wish you spoke up, even if you smiled when you wanted to cry, it was still an act of endurance, of resilience. And for that you deserve gentleness, not guilt. The goal is not to never wear masks. The goal is to become more aware of when they appear, and to lovingly take them off when you no longer need them. And bedtime is the perfect place to practice this unmasking. Subliminal shift, from guilt to grace. Your subconscious doesn't need more guilt. It needs grace. It needs the message that mistakes do not define your identity. That missteps are not character flaws, they are invitations to deeper self-awareness. As you fall asleep tonight, let these subliminal affirmations play in your mind like a lullaby. I am not my mistakes. I am my intention to grow. My truth is always welcome here. Every night, I return to wholeness. Even in my imperfection, I am worthy of rest. These thoughts gently reprogram your emotional landscape. They shift your inner world from punishment to peace, from fear to forgiveness. What forgiveness unlocks? When you forgive the day's pretense, you release the emotional weight you were never meant to carry. Sleep more deeply, without mental resistance or regret. Begin to trust yourself again, knowing that your truth is safe. Open the door for greater authenticity tomorrow. Forgiveness doesn't just end the day. It elevates the soul. A final whisper before sleep. Close your eyes. Take one slow, forgiving breath. Feel your body soften as you say, I do not have to be perfect to be at peace. I am not here to perform, I am here to feel, to grow, and to rest. Tonight, I forgive. I forgive the roles. I forgive the masks. I forgive myself. Let that forgiveness cradle you. Let it wash over you like a warm tide. Let it carry you into sleep, not as the person you had to be, but as the one you truly are. You don't need to hold onto the weight of pretending. Not tonight. Not anymore. You are free. You are loved. You are home. Chapter 7, The Inner Child Behind the Mask. Beneath every mask you wear is a child who just wanted to feel safe, seen, and loved. Every adult wears masks, but few realize that behind each of these masks is not a hardened, rational decision maker, but a child. A younger version of you who once needed to protect themselves, to be accepted, to feel secure in a world that often felt confusing or unsafe. You may think you've grown past those childhood fears or emotional needs. You may believe that the masks you wear today, confidence, control, perfectionism, people-pleasing, are simply part of adult life. But in truth, these masks were first formed when you were very young. And they've stayed with you because the child inside never stopped trying to be heard. This chapter is about turning toward that inner child, not with pity, but with love. Not to shame or silence, but to comfort and embrace. Because behind every moment you shrink, every mask you wear, every time you say I'm fine when you're not, is the voice of your younger self asking, am I allowed to just be me? Tonight, the answer is yes. Yes, you are. Who is your inner child? Your inner child is not a fantasy or symbolic idea. It's a real, living presence within you. It's the emotional part of you that remembers, that still feels, that still reacts, sometimes silently. It's the part of you that Felt invisible when others ignored your needs. Learned to stay quiet to avoid punishment or rejection. Believed love had to be earned, not freely given. Thought being good meant never causing trouble or showing sadness. That child still lives inside your heart. And no matter how much time has passed, they are still waiting for one thing, your presence. Not the approval of the world. Not perfection. Just your presence. How the inner child creates the mask. Children are incredibly wise. Even without words, they sense the emotional climate of their homes, schools, and social environments. When love feels conditional, when vulnerability is unsafe, or when their needs are unmet, they learn to adapt. They build masks. The achiever, who earns approval through success. The peacemaker, who avoids conflict by always agreeing. The caretaker, who forgets their own needs to meet others. The performer, who keeps everyone laughing to avoid being seen. These masks served you once. They helped you survive. But now, they are hiding the very parts of you that need to be held. Your inner child is not trying to sabotage you. They're trying to be loved in the only way they know how. The wounds they carry to bed. When we lay down at night, our adult logic may wind down, but the emotional mind, the child within, comes forward. This is why some of us feel restless, anxious, or even tearful just before sleep. The inner child finally has space to speak. And often, they whisper, "Did I do enough? Will they still love me? Am I in trouble? Why do I feel alone?" These questions aren't silly. They are echoes of early experiences. They are the emotional fingerprints of the masks you wore today. But now, as the adult, you have the power to answer those questions with truth, compassion, and warmth. Reparenting at bedtime. To reparent means to become the loving, understanding caregiver your inner child has always needed. It doesn't mean blaming your real parents, it means acknowledging that no one can love you like you can. At night, when the world is quiet and your defenses are down, it's the perfect time to reconnect and offer reassurance. Try this bedtime ritual. Step 1. Visualize your inner child. Close your eyes. Picture yourself as a small child, maybe 5, 7, or even 10 years old. Imagine their face, their posture, their eyes. What are they feeling right now? What do they need? Step 2. Place your hand on your heart. This simple gesture grounds you in the present and tells your inner child, "I am here now. I'm listening." Step 3. Speak loving words. Gently whisper or think. You don't have to pretend anymore. "I see you. I hear you. I love you. You did your best today. It's safe to rest now. I'll protect you." Let these words seep into your being. Let them wrap around the child inside like a warm blanket. When tears come, let them. Sometimes, as you begin to comfort your inner child, unexpected emotions rise. You might cry. You might feel tender or even sad. This is not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. Tears are proof that healing is happening. That something long buried is finally being acknowledged. That the child within is feeling seen. Let the tears come. Let them cleanse. Let them carry away years of being overlooked. And then, rest. Subliminal healing messages for your inner child. As you begin to drift into sleep, breathe gently and repeat inwardly. "Little one, you are safe now. You no longer have to perform. I'm proud of you. You are enough. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. Sleep now, sweet one. You're home." These messages soothe not just your mind, but your soul. They travel deep into the subconscious, rewiring old scripts of shame and fear into love and belonging. Your inner child is not broken, they are brave. It takes immense courage to adapt to pain, to survive environments that didn't understand you, to keep showing up, even when you felt unseen. The fact that you're reading this, doing this work, means that your inner child never gave up. They kept believing that one day, you would return. That day is today. And each night you meet them with kindness, the mask grows thinner. The heart grows fuller. And the real you begins to shine through again. A final whisper before sleep. Tonight, lie down not just as the adult with responsibilities, but as the child within who just wants to be held. Whisper to yourself, I am both the child and the caregiver. I hold myself now with love. I no longer abandon the most tender parts of me. I sleep as my whole self, accepted, embraced, enough. You are no longer the child who had to hide. You are the adult who can now heal. So sleep, dear one. The child inside is safe. They are loved. They are home. And so are you. Chapter 8, Creating a Bedtime Sanctuary of Realness. Your bedroom should not be a place of performance, but a refuge of authenticity, a sacred space where the real you is finally allowed to rest. For most people, the bedroom is just another part of the house, a space to collapse into after the day is done. But for those of us who are committed to emotional healing and deep self-connection, the bedroom becomes something more, a sanctuary. A space where the outer world ends and the inner world begins. A place where masks are not required, where expectations fall away, and where we come home to the truest version of ourselves. But here's the truth, many people go to bed surrounded by reminders of their stress, cluttered with digital distractions, and carrying the heavy energy of the roles they played all day. That's why this chapter is so important. Tonight, we begin the process of transforming your sleep space into a gentle, sacred container for you. Not the version of you that answers emails or smiles through discomfort, but the quiet, wise, beautiful soul that only emerges in stillness. Why your environment shapes your inner world. The spaces we inhabit influence our nervous system. Bright lights, loud noises, clutter, and overstimulation keep our bodies on high alert, preventing us from truly relaxing. Even more subtly, the objects in our room, our phone, our work folders, our unfinished to-do lists act as silent signals, pulling our minds back into performance mode. You may not realize it, but your physical environment is telling your brain what to expect. If your bedroom feels like an extension of the office or a social media hub, your body won't associate it with peace. That's why creating a bedtime sanctuary of realness is not about luxury. It's about sending your body and soul one powerful, consistent message. Here, you are safe to be real. Here, you are allowed to rest. The foundation of your sanctuary, simplicity and intention. You don't need a complete makeover. You don't need new furniture. All you need is a sense of intention. A sanctuary is not defined by how it looks, it's defined by how it feels. Start with this powerful question. When I enter my bedroom, do I feel invited to be myself? If the answer is no, don't worry. You can begin creating this invitation tonight. Here are the foundational elements of a bedroom that nurtures your truest self. 1. Soft lighting, softening presence. Harsh overhead lights signal alertness. Soft, warm lighting signals safety. Try using Himalayan salt lamps, dimmable bedside lamps, candlelight or LED candles, fairy lights. As the sun sets, begin dimming the lights in your room. Let the gradual darkening mirror your shift from the outer world to your inner sanctuary. Light is not just visual, it's emotional. Warm light says, you can relax now. There's nothing to prove here. A clutter-free space reflects a clear mind. Clutter causes cognitive overload even when you're not aware of it. Take 5 minutes each night to clear clothes off chairs or the floor, unfinished work or opened books, notifications or buzzing devices. Your bed should be a space of invitation, not a dumping ground. Keep only what comforts you near the bed. A favorite book, a glass of water, a small journal, a calming essential oil. Remember, you are not clearing clutter to impress anyone. You're doing it as a nightly act of self-respect. 3. Scent as a signal to the subconscious. Scent is deeply tied to memory, emotion, and healing. The right aroma can instantly shift your energy from tense to tranquil. Consider diffusing or applying. Lavender for calm, sandalwood for grounding, chamomile for emotional release, frankincense for spiritual connection. Each time you smell this scent, your subconscious begins to associate it with safety and surrender. It becomes a sacred cue that you are entering a realm where only truth, peace, and presence are welcome. 4. Comfort without performance. What do you wear to bed? What textures surround you? Too often, even in rest, we choose discomfort-tight clothes, scratchy sheets, pillows that don't support us. This is not about indulgence. It's about supporting your nervous system. Choose soft, breathable pajamas. A pillow that truly cradles you. Blankets that feel like a hug. Fabrics that feel like love. Let everything that touches your skin feel like a reminder. You are worthy of care. 5. Eliminate devices, invite presence. Phones, laptops, and TVs pull you out of your body and into a world of noise. Social media encourages comparison. News ignites anxiety. Work emails reignite urgency. To reclaim your sanctuary, keep your phone off the bed. Set screen curfews an hour before sleep. Use analog replacements, real books, written affirmations, a candle instead of a screen. You don't need more input at night. You need more inward. 6. Create an altar to your authentic self. This doesn't have to be religious. An altar is simply a visual, symbolic space that reflects your values and emotional truth. Include a framed photo of your younger self, a quote or affirmation that grounds you, a small crystal, flower, or object of personal meaning, a journal where you can release and return. Each night, pause before your altar and say, I see you. I honor you. You are safe here. Let this space become your anchor. Subliminal messaging, embedding safety in your space. Your bedroom can whisper to your subconscious. It can say, you are allowed to stop performing. You are safe to be soft. You are not your roles, you are your presence. This space was made for your truth. Repeat these messages as you tidy, light your candles, or lie down. Let your sanctuary become your spiritual ally. A final nightly affirmation. As you lie down in your sanctuary tonight, breathe in deeply and say, this is my space. This is my truth. I have nothing to prove. I welcome rest not just for my body, but for my soul. In this room, I am real. In this bed, I am whole. You deserve a space that supports your healing. You deserve a place where you can lay your masks down completely. You deserve to fall asleep wrapped in authenticity, not expectation. So tonight, return to that sacred space. Let your sanctuary hold the real you. And may that be the safest, most beautiful home of all. Chapter 9, Dreaming with an Unmasked Soul. When you release the mask before sleep, your soul finally gets the chance to speak. Sleep is not merely a physical necessity, it is a spiritual experience. Each night, as your conscious mind softens and your body enters stillness, the hidden parts of you awaken. The parts that were silenced during the day. The emotions that didn't have space. The truths that were too shy to speak. All of it rises, gently and wordlessly, into the dream world. Dreaming is where the unmasked self lives. It is here, in the quiet cathedral of your subconscious, that your soul reveals its longings, offers its insights, and sometimes, begins to heal what waking hours left behind. But to access this powerful space, you must first remove the layers of identity, pressure, and pretense that you carried all day. This chapter is an invitation to dream not as escapism, but as integration. As remembrance. As the place where your truest self breathes without boundaries. The wisdom of the dream world. Dreams are the language of the subconscious. They do not speak in logic, they speak in symbols, sensations, archetypes, and metaphor. They reflect what you feel beneath what you say you feel. They reveal the truths that can't yet be spoken aloud. Your dreams may hold long-forgotten memories, deep inner fears, desires you've silenced, messages from your body, insights from your higher self. They are never random. They are responses to your inner world, echoes of the masks you wore, the truths you hid, the hopes you haven't yet admitted to yourself. But to receive these messages, you must approach dreams with openness, not control. What happens when you sleep as your true self? When you go to bed still clinging to the day's roles, overthinking, rushing, pretending your dreams may feel chaotic or restless. But when you allow yourself to sleep as your true self, something beautiful happens. Your dreams become softer, more meaningful, more vivid, more emotionally nourishing. This is not a coincidence. By consciously releasing the masks at bedtime, you give your subconscious space to speak from the soul, not the surface. You begin to dream from wholeness, not from fragmentation. And in those dreams, healing occurs not through analysis, but through feeling. Preparing the mind for honest dreams. To dream deeply, you must trust deeply. And trust begins with bedtime rituals that soothe your nervous system and signal your subconscious. It's safe to be real now. Here's a simple nightly practice to invite honest, healing dreams. Step 1. Declare your intent. As you lie in bed, whisper. Tonight, I sleep without masks. I invite only truth. I welcome the real parts of me to rise. This small act opens the gateway. You're not forcing the dream, you're inviting the soul. Step 2. Use an anchor object. Place a small object, a crystal, a feather, a leaf, a photo under your pillow or near your bed. Let it symbolize your return to authenticity. Hold it gently and whisper. This is my token of truth. It holds the parts of me I'm ready to remember. Step 3. Breathe deeply with surrender. Let each inhale cleanse the clutter. Let each exhale soften the identity you wore all day. Say inwardly, I release the need to impress. I welcome the truth of my heart. Then let go. Understanding your dreams without judgment. Not all dreams will make immediate sense. Some will be symbolic. Some will feel strange. Some will seem unrelated to anything you've experienced. That's okay. Your job is not to decode every dream like a puzzle, it's to receive the emotional tone of the dream as a message. Ask upon waking. How did this dream make me feel? What part of me was speaking through that image? What does my soul want me to notice? Dreams are mirrors, not manuals. Let them reflect. Let them guide. Let them teach you how to listen. Common dream themes of the unmasked soul. When you begin sleeping more authentically, certain dream themes may arise. Returning to childhood places, your inner child is reaching out. Flying or floating, a desire for freedom from control or obligation. Water, emotional clarity, deep feelings ready to be explored. Losing your voice, a mask is silencing your truth. Being naked in public, vulnerability is calling your soul wants to be seen. Light and dark contrast, your higher self is showing you where truth and illusion live. There is no good or bad dream. There is only awakening inwardly. Dream journaling for soul connection. Keep a small notebook or journal by your bed. Upon waking, without editing, write down anything you remember, even if it's just a word, a feeling, or a single image. This is not for analysis. It's for attunement. By doing this, you tell your subconscious, your voice matters. I am listening. Over time, patterns will emerge. A language will form. And you'll begin to sense the deeper parts of you leading your healing, your growth, and your return to wholeness. Subliminal affirmations to welcome healing dreams. As you fall asleep, repeat in your heart. Tonight, I dream as my true self. I release distortion. I welcome truth. I let my dreams nourish what I've forgotten. These affirmations bypass resistance. They plant seeds of openness. They awaken the intuitive wisdom inside of you that already knows how to heal. Let these thoughts drift with you into sleep, like moonlight guiding you through fog. Dreams as medicine, not mystery. In ancient cultures, dreams were sacred. They were trusted as visions, guidance, and healing. They were not dismissed, they were respected. It's time to reclaim that relationship. Your dreams are not just byproducts of sleep, they are medicine for your spirit. They are truth in symbolic form. They are your inner self knocking, gently, asking to be heard. Each time you sleep as your truest self, you become a little more aligned with your purpose. A little more courageous. A little more whole. A final whisper before dreaming. Tonight, as you close your eyes, whisper. I enter the dream world not to escape, but to remember. My soul is safe here. My truth is welcome here. My healing begins in the silence beyond words. Let your dreams speak. Let your soul breathe. And when you wake, know this. You are not just dreaming, you are returning. Returning to the version of you that has always known the way home. Chapter 10, Waking Up Without the Masks. If you go to sleep as your real self, what would happen if you stayed that way when you woke up? Every night, you have honored a quiet miracle, you have gently removed the masks, softened the self-judgment, and rested as the truest version of who you are. You have chosen stillness over performance, breath over pressure, self-kindness over criticism. But now, morning is here. And with it comes the world expectations, tasks, emails, conversations, routines. The temptation is strong to immediately reach for the old masks again. To slip back into the roles, the personas, the edited version of you that's easier for others to digest. But today, something different is possible. This final chapter is not about perfection. It's about continuity. About allowing the peace you cultivated in the night to flow into the light of morning. About living your day with at least a sliver of the wholeness you found beneath the covers. This is your invitation to wake up and carry your truth into the world, not all at once, but gently, consistently, and courageously. The subtle pressure to perform again. As soon as your eyes open, the old world returns. Thoughts race in. What do I need to do today? Who do I need to be today? What should I say, wear, show? Without even realizing it, you may reach for your phone, check your calendar, or mentally rehearse conversations. You begin constructing your daytime self, the one who's competent, agreeable, productive, polished. And just like that, the masks start returning. This isn't failure. It's habit. It's survival programming. It's how you've coped in a world that often rewards appearance over authenticity. But habit can be broken. Slowly. Lovingly. Intentionally. Begin the day as you ended the night. What if you started the day with the same gentleness you used to end it? Instead of launching into performance mode, try this. Before getting out of bed, place your hand on your heart. Breathe in slowly. Say, the same self I slept as, I wake as. I am not a role. I am not a label. I am me. Today, I carry my truth with me. Let these words anchor your energy before the world tries to pull it away. You don't need to start your day with a bang. You need to start it with presence. Create a morning buffer zone. Rather than going straight from bed to screen, create a sacred 5 to 10 minute buffer zone where you remain in communion with yourself. Ideas. Sit quietly and sip warm water or tea. Gaze out the window. Stretch your body mindfully. Journal one line, what is true about me today? This small pause changes everything. It reminds your inner self, I matter, before anything else does. Even if the rest of your day is hectic, this moment of intention sets the tone for authenticity. Wearing a softer mask. In many environments, it may not feel safe or practical to be fully vulnerable. That's okay. Authenticity is not about radical exposure. It's about gentle alignment. You can still show up to work, meetings, or errands, but instead of wearing a mask that hides you, wear one that protects without erasing. Ask, can I be 5% more real in this interaction? Can I soften my tone and speak from truth? Can I pause before reacting from old patterns? Each time you choose presence over performance, you grow into your truest self. You bring a little bit of your nighttime wholeness into the daylight. Living without the mask is a process. Removing masks in sleep is sacred. But learning to live without them during the day is transformational, and it takes time. Here are signs you are beginning to wake up without your masks. You speak honestly, even when it's uncomfortable. You say no without apologizing. You ask for help when you need it. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You rest without guilt. You don't need to be loud to be real. You don't need to reveal everything. You just need to stop abandoning yourself. Day by day, conversation by conversation, you begin to carry your truth with confidence. The world needs your realness. It may feel easier to keep the mask on to stay agreeable, neutral, polished. But the world doesn't need another perfect person. It needs you. Your honesty gives others permission to be honest. Your realness softens the room. Your presence changes energy, silently, powerfully. Every time you show up as your truest self, even a little, you model wholeness in a fractured world. You say, it's okay to be tired. You say, it's okay to not know. You say, it's okay to be growing. And in doing so, you become a quiet revolutionary. A bringer of truth. A protector of authenticity. Subliminal morning affirmations to stay unmasked. Before leaving your home, pause and say, I do not need to perform to be loved. I am enough without the mask. I can be both strong and soft. I walk through the world as the real me. The more I honor my truth, the more peace I carry. These affirmations rewire your subconscious to choose self-honor over self-protection. Let your body hear them. Let your soul absorb them. Let your morning be infused with courage. And if you forget, begin again. Some days, you'll slip back into old patterns. You'll perform. You'll shrink. You'll pretend. That's human. But you always have the right to return. You can come back to your truth in the middle of the day, in the middle of a conversation, or in the quiet of a bathroom stall. Whisper, I forgive myself. I return to me now. This is not about getting it right. It's about coming back home as many times as it takes. A final whisper for your days ahead. You have unmasked at night. You have remembered who you are in the silence. And now you walk forward. Not perfectly. Not loudly. But honestly. You begin to build a life that doesn't require constant pretending. You begin to show up more fully, not for applause, but for alignment. You begin to live in a way that honors the real you because you are no longer willing to abandon yourself. So each morning, may you rise gently. May you speak truth tenderly. May you carry the peace of your night into the wildness of your day. And when the world becomes too loud again, just remember, your real self is never far. It's in your breath. It's in your heartbeat. It's in your sleep. And now, it's in your every waking step. Final reflection, living unmasked with purpose and peace. Biggest takeaway. You are not here to perform life. You are here to live it fully, honestly, gently, and courageously as the truest expression of your soul. Each chapter in this ebook has taken you one step closer to the most sacred truth. Beneath the layers, masks, roles, and emotional armor you wear each day, is someone real. Someone radiant. Someone worthy of unconditional love, not because of what they do, but because of who they are. And once you remember that realness each night, once you learn to sleep as your unmasked self, you unlock something powerful. The ability to live each day with clarity, courage, and compassion. The commitment to honor your emotions, speak your truth, and rest without guilt. The wisdom to appreciate your journey, even when it's messy or misunderstood. And the divine calling to live intentionally, knowing your presence in this world is not random, it is needed. How to leverage this ebook for self-enhancement and transformation. Use this nightly ritual as a spiritual technology, a rhythm that unites your soul, mind, and body in self-trust and clarity. 1. Return to yourself before sleep every night. Let bedtime become your spiritual check-in. Remove the mask. Feel your breath. Speak kindness. Forgive the day. This practice grounds your nervous system and reclaims your power to live truthfully. 2. Let go of perfection and performance. This ebook gives you permission to stop striving to be what the world wants. You no longer need to impress or prove. When you sleep as yourself, you wake up less reactive and more intentional. 3. Write your last thought as a seed of your life purpose. End each day by writing or whispering a truth you want to live into. Examples. I was born to create peace. My voice matters. I am here to remind others of their worth. God gave me breath, I shall use it to love wisely. This final thought becomes your daily compass guiding your behavior, decisions, and contribution. 4. Carry the nighttime peace into your mornings. Waking without the mask means not jumping straight into pressure. Begin each morning softly, touch your heart, take a breath, and remind yourself, I will not abandon myself today. Let that inner promise guide you. 5. Appreciate your humanity, not just your productivity. This ebook reminds you that your value is not in your output, it's in your presence. To be human is to feel, rest, love, fall short, try again. Let your journey be filled with grace. Thank your body. Thank your breath. Thank your mistakes for making you wiser. Re-engineer your life with clarity and divine focus. Ask, what truly matters to me? Use this bedtime journey to clear the noise and hear the voice beneath the clutter. What truly matters is often simple: peace, presence, contribution, connection, freedom. Rebuild around your soul's rhythm, not society's expectations. Structure your life around values, not vanity. Around love, not fear. Let your schedule, goals, and relationships reflect your truest self, not the masked self you've outgrown. Stop trying to devalue yourself. This book is your call to stop dimming your light. Stop rehearsing your failures. Stop undermining your contributions. You were not sent into this world to be small. You are light-bearing, peacemaking, truth-carrying. Let every night you remove the mask be a sacred reminder that your life is not accidental, it is a divine offering. Final prayer and blessing for your journey. May you lay down the day with tenderness. May your breath guide you home to yourself. May your dreams restore your forgotten truths. And may you rise each morning not with fear or facade but with the quiet strength of someone who remembers. I am here on purpose. I am here with God. I am here to love, to heal, to serve, to be. All is well. All is whole. All is blessed. Reaching RTSG with AI assistance via WhatsApp QR code. Recommended Reinventing Ourselves YouTube video QR code.